Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Brother Winston. So today we're going to be talking about this black boycott of Asian businesses, y'all. All right. Now, all of this starts from this video from this man right here, which I'm going to hit play on, okay, from Afro TV. I'm going to hit play. I'll be right back.
When the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses, please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip-hop culture. Where do you think that's made it? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to... What?
Okay, we're going to stop that right there, all right? We're going to stop it right here. Now, some people will look at this guy's video and be like, well, is he wrong? You know what I mean? A lot of black folks are being outworked. And if this is the reality of the situation, that's not true. Okay. A lot of y'all, I'm going to be straight up with a lot of people. Okay. A lot of y'all look at the worst of the black community only. Okay. Like right now, I'm a black man making this video. All right. This black man who you're listening to right now has started 2 community groups here in Philadelphia where he worked out the community for free. Never paid a dime to do that. I'm also a minister. Okay. The word of God. Okay. I'm also created comic books. All right. For the youth. All right. I have one of them in the actual free library here in Philadelphia. Okay. And that's just a few of the things. I've done a lot of things. Okay. I've never, been a person not to work. I've never been I was working since I was 14 years old. Okay. I was working when here in Philadelphia. It's not even legal to work. I was working before I was 14, actually. And then when I became 14 in Philadelphia, to work, you need to be 16. Well, what I did was I went to the suburbs. Because in the suburbs, there was a certain suburb I go to where I could work when I was 14 and get what was called my working papers. Okay, I don't know how they have in other states, but that's how it is here in Philadelphia. Okay, in PA. I'm just saying to say that TV doesn't show us, but what they do show is a black guy that shot somebody, a black guy that robbed the liquor store. They show those folks. Okay, now the reality is that every race, white, black, Asian, they all have people that have committed crimes of various kinds. All right, white people sometimes have people committing crimes of the white collar kind, okay, or a variety of crimes, all right, they actually affect way more people, all right. But these crimes are not put on the evening news as black people's crimes are, okay. But at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is that all black people are not committing crimes, and all black people are not doing the things that this man is talking about, all right. Now this man said, look, we're gonna, close all our stuff if y'all want us out of here because we don't need y'all money. That's a lie. The reality is that if black people did not support these Asian stores, they would not have any money. It's as simple as that. Now you said, we got Chinatown, we got Koreatown. Do black people go to the Chinatown, Koreatowns? Yes, but black people do not support Chinatown or Koreatown. So he's right that they can have those, they can live in Chinatown, Koreatown, but could they alone by themselves support it themselves? It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but we have not seen you go to it, like he mentioned Chinatown, Koreatown, right? Did he also say that in the cities where they have Chinatown, Koreatown, that they have in those same cities they have no stores in black areas? No, because that's not the truth. That's why a lot of those places are supported, got money from black areas. So that's why they're able to have homes and they're able to have Chinatown, Koreatown. You understand what I'm saying? They go to a black neighborhood, collect the black dollars, and then go live in Chinatown. That's the part that he didn't mention. All right, and I'm not saying once again that all Asian people need black people's money. Okay, I'm not against Asian folks that have Asian friends. But what I'm saying is that what this man is saying simply is not true. He also was saying that we're being outworked by them. That's simply not true. Black people are the ones who started the nation. You may say how? Well, working for 40 years for free. That's how we started the nation. That's how and black people were actually here before Columbus was even here. Okay, so I mean, what is he talking about? And that's even documented. All right, black folks worked here for 40 years. And as we worked 40 years, we could have revolted and tore the whole nation apart and really not been unjust in doing it. We could have said, look, this nation is ours. We caused the nation to prosper. Y'all killed our ancestors so y'all could be rich. And we really would not be unjust in doing that. We really would have a leg to stand on if we did that, but we didn't. Instead, black folks continued to work, fought for our civil rights, which some Asian folks stood against when Donald Trump stood against us when Donald Trump came and sat there and did what he wanted to do. All right, it took away a lot of the civil rights that black people had. Okay, stood against affirmative action, said, oh, that's not right, and this and that. When it was set up, please, black folks could have jobs. because of the things that happened after Reconstruction, which is the time right after slavery, when they were attacking black folks and not allowing them to get any kind of work, any kind of jobs, any kind of income. That's why they had to have affirmative action, even though that was not right after Reconstruction, but it was only a few decades after Reconstruction. Black people still were being affected, and black people are still being affected to this very day in 2026 by the color of our skin. It's as simple as that. I've experienced it myself, being a black man here in America. Okay, many times I've been pulled over in my car. Okay, I remember one time I had a friend in my car who was a black guy, and this guy, he was kind of like, he was never pulled over in a car as a black man before. He didn't own a car. Okay. And I told him things that happened to me, and it was, I'm not saying he didn't believe me, but he was just like, okay, he didn't seem to be really concerned about me being pulled over and this and that. And I told him more than once living with a guy, this stuff was happening to me. And then one day he got in the car. Okay, I was picking him up from a bus station, around a bus station, and he got in the car, and I was pulled over for doing nothing wrong. Okay, and the cops wanted his information. Okay, that's what's like to live as a black person in the USA, which that's the part they don't tell you about. Okay, people say, oh, y'all just talking about race. Y'all just want to focus on the race. If y'all stop focusing on race, stuff will go away. Well, that's simply not the case. Because I wasn't thinking about race. I was thinking about my man and go where we're going to go. We were doing that day, okay? But out of nowhere, all right, some white cop decided to pull me over, all right? They were following me. I could tell he was following me from the time that he got in the car. And you know what they said? They said, oh, well, he didn't have his seatbelt on. They didn't say he had his seatbelt on. And he said, I was putting it on. He got in the car and was putting his seatbelt on, okay? And as he was putting it on, they pulled us over as we got to the bottom of this long hill and said, and the cop actually said, oh, well, I looked at him, he didn't have his seatbelt on. Okay. They will find any reason at all. Okay. Any reason at all to try to pull you over. Any reason at all. I was pulled over for all kind of reasons. I even had tickets applied them out to me. Okay. Tickets that were literally created out of thin air of things that I did not do. All right. Like, for example, I'm the kind of person, I always drive in a kind way, in a kind manner. One thing I can't stand is when people double park. A lot of times, usually people in Philly or different inner cities, they'll be double parked, on a one-way street. Or just a double parked area where it's hard to get around them. Okay, so you can let somebody get in their car. Even if it's a parking spot right there, they would double park. Okay, I never have done that, but I got tickets before for double parking in areas where I never was at. But I know I drove past those areas. What happens is that cops saw me, a black man, said, we give him a fake ticket, create a fake ticket for me, and I was forced to pay it. Okay, that's kind of stuff that's happened to me as a black man. Now, would they do it to a white guy? Probably not. They say, oh, we can't get past him. But they see a black guy, they say, oh, we can do it to him to meet our quota of giving tickets out. Okay. And I remember that it said, okay, this officer saw you double parked here and this and that on the ticket, all kind of stuff, and all of it was false. It was all fake. All right. So when this Asian guy saying, look, at the end of the day, y'all black folks can't live without us and this and that, all kind of stuff, that stuff is not true, okay? Like he said, we're gonna pull laundromats, all kinds of out of the way. I heard one woman, she said, like black people don't have washes and dryers at home. And the funny thing is this, y'all, black people actually start boycotting, all right? They actually start boycotting. And this video's online, you can check them out, all right? Where it's people going to nail salons on Saturday, on days where people be packing the nail salon up and nobody in there. Because black women say, you know what, we're gonna boycott just like we said we would, all right? Now, you think those people, those Asian folks that deride them, they look down on them, are going to sit there and say, well, hey, finally, black folks are not coming here anymore. No, they're saying to themselves, where's the money at? We need those black dollars. Okay, we need those black dollars right now. Okay, the same black people that have been suffering in the USA, as I just described, okay, who they get care less about, not all of them, okay, not all Asian people, but some of them, they can care less about us. All right, they're saying, where's that black money at? And I'm going to tell you right now, some of these Asian folks that come to our communities, like me personally, I have not gone to Asian stores like corner stores like that. I almost never go to them. Okay, I really have not gone to them consistently for probably 15 years. Okay, I've been to maybe one here and there when there was absolutely nothing else to eat, and I almost had to go there. Okay, but rarely will I ever go there. I remember I used to go to one consistently years ago. It was a place called Ogon's Avenue in Philly called, I think it was called something like Yummy Chicken or something like that. Okay, I remember went to this joint. I went there one day and asked for, and I saw on the menu it had hamburgers. I said, oh, hamburgers, that sound good. I said, I never thought they'd have a hamburger at a Chinese store, okay? And I really wanted a hamburger at that time. I used to eat red meat, which I don't even eat red meat anymore, okay? But I used to eat red meat. I said, okay. So I said, well, let me get a hamburger. He said, a hamburger coming up. I'm sitting there waiting in there. All of a sudden, I smell a smell that smelled like something I never smelled before. I'll just say that it was a smell that, when I smelled it, something in me said, don't get that. It was probably God, but I didn't listen, okay? And It was a smell that come out of the kitchen that just smelled so bad. I said, what is that? I got the burger, ate it. It didn't taste right. I mean, it didn't make me sick necessarily, but it didn't taste right. And that was that. All right. Later on the news, true story, later on the news, I heard that same place was busted for selling dogs. True story. Here in Philadelphia, they were selling dogs. Okay, they were busted for that. Shut down temporarily because they were selling all kind of meat that was not real. All right, I'm almost sure that was what I had that day. There ain't no problem coming to a black neighborhood and selling some fake meat. Also, some time ago, I went to this restaurant down Center City, which is like downtown Philadelphia. And there was this restaurant, which I didn't know was Asian at the time. It was a restaurant that had a sign outside that said, like, you could get a meal, it was like a chicken sandwich, fries, and a drink for like $7.99. The chicken sandwich looked good, like some of you see from Chick-fil-A. I said, you know what? I'm downtown. Now, downtown Philly is no Chick-fil-A's or like, it's not a lot of places like that. Downtown in Philadelphia, for some reason, there's only one. All of them, the ones that are either, there's like two, but it's not many. They're far apart, okay? And the one where I was at, both of the joints that sell chicken are Asian business, okay? Once again, not to say that I'm against Asian folks, just I usually don't go to the, like I said, to the Chinese corner store because some stuff they be doing there, you understand? So anyway, also I feel like we black people should support our own business. But anyway, I go to this place, right? I didn't know it was Asian business, right? So I go in there and try to get the meal. I picked the meal up, right? It's a chicken sandwich, right? True story. When I got the chicken sandwich, okay, the chicken was not real. All right. It was immediately apparent to me this chicken was not real. Though they called it a chicken sandwich, it was not chicken. It was some type of like bio meat. I'll just say that. It was the worst chicken sandwich or worst sandwich I probably ever had in my life. When you bit into the meat, it wasn't even like it was gristle. It was just some type of material I can't even explain. Okay. It was so bad. I actually wanted to get a refund, but I thought to myself, I don't want to ask for a refund for something that's less than, that's that small amount of money. Okay, I might as well just take it, on the chin and leave. Okay, but I felt like, they basically robbed me, and those were Asian folks. Okay, they had no problem doing that to people. Okay, now all Asian people doing that? No. All right, but what I'm saying is that a lot of these folks come into our communities and sell all kind of trash, all kind of garbage. They have no problem doing that. And a lot of black folks, it's true. A lot of black folks, they don't like that, but they keep going to their stores, like every time I've been to a Chinese store, I've always seen a lot of black. I'm just being honest. Always seen a lot of black folks in there, okay, giving them y'all money. Stop doing that. And then, God, with this boycott, people are realize we need to stop doing that. Go to our own business, okay? Just like there are Asian nail salons, all right. There are black women that do nails in their house, okay, or they had opened up their own nail salons, okay. I think it's better to go to a girlfriend's house who could do nails than to go to someone who's not your race and go to them and keep put money in their hands. Even if they were treated as race, there's nothing wrong that they're doing to us at all. Okay, they could be the nice person in the world. Why would you put my point is, why would you put all your money into another community when that money goes out of the community and does not return? You ever heard the stat about black dollars? How they say that black dollars circulate like less than a day in the community and leaves immediately, whereas in Asian communities or other communities, the dollars circulate for days or weeks. Okay, weeks usually, which is to say their money stays in the community. They're buying it in their own community. Whereas for us, we go to another community, or in our own community, we will give money to those who are not from our community. Okay, what this guy is saying is straight up trash because he's acting like he says, we're not only in our communities X, Y, Z. That's not true. You ever see a Chinese store in a suburb? No. If you do, it's rare. Okay, most Chinese stores are in black neighborhoods. Okay. Here in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania, we have a lot of suburbs, okay? It's a big state. Not as big as Texas, but it's a big state. I'm going to tell you right now, leave Philadelphia, go to these suburbs, you'll be hard-pressed to find a Chinese store, I guarantee you that. And the Chinese stores that you do see are more like restaurants. They're not like the Chinese store you would see in the hood somewhere, okay? They're Chinese stores they're selling a higher quality of stuff because it's to make it like a niche thing. It's just the way it is. That's how it's always been. They know they can't sell that trash they sell in the hood. Not all people know they're selling trash, but there are many that are. That's what I'm saying. And they know they can't sell that trash that they sell in the hood, all right, in the suburbs to white folks. So he said we can do the same thing anywhere else and succeed. That's not true. It's simply not the case. I would even go as far as say this: if there were no black people, I don't think that the Asian people coming over here, migrating over here, would even have jobs. It's as simple as that. Outside of working maybe in tech or something like that, they would not have the jobs. They would not have restaurants. I said they would not have restaurant jobs at all because black people are the number one people who have been supporting them. It's as simple as that. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. It's your boy Winston. Like, button, and share this video. God bless. Peace.